Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I want to look back at this Marysville-Pilchuck High School shooting. It occurred October 24th, 2014. This is the one that was north of Seattle and got a lot of media attention at the time. Right after it happened, the Seattle Seahawks became sort of like sponsors of the high school. They invited players to a home game. They went and visited the school. They made commercials. So the Seattle Seahawks have been very much intertwined with this school shooting. Also, shortly after the shooting, they put this on the helmet, MP. And we'll get into the significance of this and how it connects to the Seahawks as well. But let's just look at it. The shooting took place October 24th, 2014. I wanted to see how many days that was before the Super Bowl now looking back at this, and it turns out it's exactly 100 days. And what's interesting about that is 100 days is the same as 144,000 minutes. This number 144,000 comes from Revelation 7:4 of the Bible. It's a significant number. If you just take the number 144, the phrase mark of the beast equals 144. The word corporation is 144. I did a post on 144 if you're interested in it. Just search my name and type in 144. Making matters more interesting, this past week there was a bomb threat at the school, the same school where the shooting happened at. Here's that story right here. There was one Wednesday and then two more Thursday, so a total of 3 bomb threats. But this happened Wednesday, January 14th, 114. Remember this number, 114. January is 1, the day is 14, 114. So I noticed that from the day of the shooting till January 14th was a span of 82 days, and right away I went, oh man, that's interesting. Let me show you why, Truth Seeker. The word Seattle was simple English gematria equals 82. Out of all the cities in the United States, only 2 have a Jewish gematria of 321. They are Seattle and Manhattan. And think about what happened in Manhattan with September 11th. Think of the Manhattan Project. It is my theory that the Manhattan Project was for what we realized September 11th. Whatever they were researching, they used to take down those structures. Perhaps they have something similar planned for a place such as Seattle. So again, let's just go back up here. I want to remind that from the day of the shooting in Marysville, Washington, until the Super Bowl is 144,000 minutes. Making matters more interesting, the site of this year's Super Bowl is Glendale, Arizona. With simple English gematria, Glendale, Arizona equals 144, much like 144,000. So those are the major curiosities. The span of days, these are just the patterns that fit. I'm not the only one documenting this in the world. The span of days between school shootings has been an ongoing pattern that other researchers have been documenting. And here, from the shooting to the bombing threat, more curiosities. Okay, so let's talk about this MP on the helmet for Marysville-Pilchuck. I did a longer post on this and went into the greater numerology, but I just want to focus on MP here and not get too deep into it. MP, M is the 13th letter, so it can be represented as 4 because 1 plus 3 is 4. P is the 16th letter. It can be represented as 7 because 1 plus 6 is 7. So MP is 4-7. Seattle plays on the 47th parallel. Seattle's located directly on the 47th parallel. And 47 is of much significance to the NFL and the Super Bowl. It was the 47th season of the NFL that became the season of the first Super Bowl. That was the 66-67 season. And recall this past weekend, the Green Bay Packers defeated the Dallas Cowboys in a 47-year anniversary of the Ice Bowl. They called the game Ice Bowl 2 with a score 26-21, where the sum is 47. Earlier this year in the reporting on the shooter, his name was Jalen Freiberg. They put out these images of him. They said he was obsessed with the number 33. The name Freiburg with simple English gematria equals 81. If you add 81 and 33, it equals 114, a lot like the date January 14th from the recent bombing. And, I was commenting on this stuff back in October, just breaking it down. The reason I do this is so I can document what happens further, and I can go back and quickly look at this research. When I started my blog, this was kind of the point. I just wanted to document what they were doing, see if there was something real here. And as I found out, there's either something very real here, or this is, the craziest coincidence of all time. So, from the very beginning of the blog, I explained how 33 and 47 are very much connected, and here you find them in this story, and so many others. What else is interesting is the name Jalen Freiberg sums to 67. When I talk about Revelation, I typically talk about how it sums to 49 and 121. With the V exception, it also sums to 67, another Masonic number. The Seahawks, they let go of Percy Harvin this year. They once signed him on March 11th to $6.7 million. You'll notice that many players, if you do their name gematria, you find out that their contract matches their name gematria, from LeBron James to Michael Jordan to so many others. Aaron Rodgers signed a $7.7 million contract. Green Bay equals 77. Lots of this stuff, Truth Seeker. Yeah, also for those of you who are fascinated by the number 88, as Casey and Enter the Stars documents so much, Jalen Freiberg was said to have put out this last tweet, "It won't last, it'll never last." If you decode that with Pythagorean gematria, it sums to 88, So common in decoding these stories. This is the way I learned the significance of these numbers, was decoding and seeing how often they just kept repeating the same things, and then taking that research and seeing where else it applied. George Washington's 88. Uncle Sam is 88. And, yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it, Truth Seeker. Just wanted to fill you in on these curiosities from the Marysville-Pilchuck shooting to Super Bowl 49. Right now, or I should say this weekend, the Seattle Seahawks will face the Green Bay Packers in Seattle. Should they win, they will be in Super Bowl 49. And let's keep our eye on this. I'll also mention this, Truth Seeker. Russell Wilson, the quarterback of the Seahawks, who's been front and center in these Marysville-Pilchuck commercials, he has a life number of 39, just like Andrew Luck, the quarterback of the Colts. And of course, 39 is the number of books in the Old Testament, which Revelation's based on. Revelation has that gematria of 49. So perhaps we'll be looking at a Super Bowl between two quarterbacks with significant life numbers and a whole lot more. All right. Until next time, Truth Seeker.